Merry meet everyone and welcome to my pagan life. How are you doing today? Good? Are you doing good? Oh, that's great to hear. Oh, how I'm doing? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I am doing fantastic. Samhain is upon us, basically the third harvest season, and I'm right in the middle of my planning actually. But I thought, hey, since it's Samhain, why don't we look back at some of the things we've already learned, some of the knowledge we've already gained, some of the things we've already done before we make way for new things to come. So I'll be talking about some of the things that I've got in this book ever since I started learning about Wicca and paganism and witchcraft, so that we can review some basic knowledge and review some things that I have personally learned. Some of this may be new to you, some of it may not be, but either way, if you think you're going to learn something from this video, I suggest you pause this video, bring out your pen or pencil, bring out your book of shadows or your journal, because guess what? It's time to get writing. Okay, starting with the very first thing I have in my book of shadows. Bide the Wiccan law ye must, in perfect love and perfect trust. 8 words the Wiccan read fulfill, and it harm none, do what ye will. What ye send forth comes back to thee, so ever mind the law of 3. Follow this with mind and heart, merry ye meet and merry ye part. Yes, what I just read was the Wiccan Reed or the Wiccan Law or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's basically the first thing I ever memorized in Wicca. It was that part of the Wiccan Reed. I mean, there's a whole entire poem, but I'm not memorizing that. And already we've come to the Wiccan or pagan holidays, which are Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lunasa, Mabon, and Samhain. Considered to be the most important Wiccan holiday, this holiday marks the beginning of the witch's new year. It is said that it is on this holiday that the line between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. The story related to this Sabbath or this holiday is that the god is still waiting to be reborn. And that makes sense because, I mean, the days are getting darker, the days are already darker, and the god's power is slowly dying. And the date for this holiday is, of course, October the 31st. And here you've also got the elements. The 4 elements are earth, air, fire, and water. They are the building blocks of all creation, and combined they create the spiritual element of Aether. Now remember that when I say building blocks of all creation, I'm speaking very dogmatically and not physically or materialistically, because we all know that the world doesn't just consist of earth, air, fire, and water. But it's sort of a religious saying or a dogmatic principle. And when we say that they are the building blocks of all creation, we are more specifically talking about the spiritual aspects of it. Air is the element of the east. Air symbolizes joy, focus, intelligence, logic, optimism, and so on. The negative qualities of air are sarcasm, emotional coldness, and gossip. The season associated with the element of air is spring, and if you want to be more specific about which Sabbath, you've got Ostara. And if you want some symbols associated with air, you've got the bell, the feather, and incense. Fire is the element of the south, and fire symbolizes courage, imagination, transformation, energy, and so on. Negative sides are addiction, anger, domination, jealousy, and more. The season that is associated with fire is summer, and if you want to be even more specific, Litha and Beltane. And the most iconic symbol of fire is the candle. Water is the element of the west, and water symbolizes compassion, harmony, love, forgiveness, wisdom, and so on. Negatives are manipulation, lack of motivation, and so on. The season associated with water is autumn, and the most iconic tool or symbol is the chalice. The element of earth is the element of the north. And the positive aspects of earth are generosity, tolerance, leadership, reliability. Negatives are stubbornness, laziness, greed, and so forth. The iconic tools are pentacle, salt, and crystals, and the season associated with earth is winter. And this is an interesting one that we haven't been talking too much about, and that is spirit. Also called Akasha or Aether, created with all the 4 elements combined, and with that creates life. Again, very dogmatic here. It exists in all things, but it can be hard to define. The good trait is wisdom, and the negative trait is self-destruction. The tools or symbols related to it is the pentacle, the cord, or nothing. You've got the types of magic, for example, color magic, which is the type of magic where you use colors. Candle magic is when you use candles in spells to strengthen your spells, and you can also use colors on the different candles. Crystal magic, herb magic, house magic, tree magic, protection magic, and also banishing and binding magic. Love magic, which is, by the way, recommended to perform on a Friday. Remember, do not use love magic to change the free will of another person. It will or might backfire. And do not do magic spells, for example, love spells, for another person. And then you've also got prosperity magic, and there are a lot of other different types of magic. Casting a circle, which is, you lords of the watchtowers of the east, you lords of air, I do summon, stir, and call you up to witness our rites and to guard the circle. When you cast a circle, you may want to do this in every single direction and, you know, replace ye lords of air with, for example, ye lords of earth. And then you've got to swap the directions and, you know, swap the elements and that. When you close the circle, you can say, "Ye lords of the watchtowers of the east, ye lords of air, we do thank you for attending our rites, and ere ye part to your pleasant and lovely realms, we bid you hail and farewell, hail and farewell." And then you do that in every single direction and swap out the different elements and directions, and you're pretty much good to go. You got a few magical creatures right on this page: the Pegasus, the Griffin, Cerberus, the Phoenix, the Unicorn, and the Sphinx. I'm also trying to encourage you guys to learn for yourself. So when I say that, oh, the Phoenix is a magical creature, what I'm asking you to do is, for example, go research it for yourself. That's the way I learned a lot. The moon phases, the new moon, the waxing moon, and the waning moon, those are the three very iconic moon phases. Go to my video about moon phases if you want to know more. The chart of the goddess, which I've also done a video on. As a matter of fact, I've done a video on most of these things. I've also written a page about the Fae. If you want to know more about the Fae, you can also research that for yourself. Here is something interesting that I haven't talked about before, and that is spell bags. Spell bags have many names other than spell bag. A spell bag is used for attracting certain things. You can do this by putting items in a bag. You can either have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, or 13 items in one bag. No more than 13 and never even numbers. Cast a circle, invoke the god or goddess, and focus your energy on the purpose of your spell bag. Spell bags are like spells you take with you. They are to be kept close by if not in contact with your skin. You can use spell bags for attracting, banishing, or protection magic. You can use symbols, crystals, herbs, and colors that fit according to the purpose of the bag. I will also be doing an individual video on the 13 goals of a witch, the charge of a god, magical names, I've also done a video on that, spirit animals or spirit guides. Spirit guides are spiritual guides that have either been with you your entire life or that comes and goes or are both. Spirit guides come in the form of people or human-like figures who have lived, animals, including mythical creatures, or sources of energy or spirit. Regardless, these guides are a part of one's life to give advice and to guide an individual through life. My entire initiation ritual, because I'm not in a coven and I wanted to initiate myself into my own religion, so yeah. It's a thing that I do to remind myself of my path. I've been jumping over quite a few things, but that's because they're either irrelevant for this video or because, you know, I don't want to spend 20 minutes talking about things. So right now, I'm back on my page about Samhain planning and preparation. If any of you are on the same page and are planning for Samhain, tell me a little bit about it. What are you planning and what are you planning to do and what are you going to be doing on Samhain in general? Anyway guys, I hope you learned something. If you haven't, then I've either done something incredibly wrong or you're just incredibly experienced. You know what? I respect you. But yeah, that was basically it for this video, and until next time guys, blessed be from my pagan life.